Welcome to my channel, US Rare Coins News, Top 1. Today we are exploring a coin that has fascinated collectors for decades, a coin that many people might have in their pocket change without even realizing its potential value. This is the United States of America Susan B. Anthony dollar from 1979, a coin that carries history, design intrigue, and a unique place in American coinage. Stick with me, because by the end of this video, you'll understand why collectors still hunt for this coin, what makes certain examples special, and how much some of them have sold for at auction. The Susan B. Anthony dollar was first introduced in 1979, marking the first time in over half a century that a real woman appeared on a circulating U.S. coin. Susan B. Anthony was a key figure in the women's suffrage movement, and the U.S. Mint wanted to honor her contributions to American history. The coin was small, about the size of a quarter, which caused some controversy at the time because people often confused it with quarters. But beyond its size, the coin carried a powerful message of equality and recognition, making it historically significant from the very beginning. On the obverse, you can see a detailed portrait of Susan B. Anthony herself, her face calm and resolute, framed by the words Liberty at the top and the date 1979 at the bottom. "In God We Trust" sits to the left, perfectly balanced with the design. The level of detail on her hair, the folds in her clothing, and the engraved contours of her face make it a striking representation of her likeness. Even though the coin is small, the craftsmanship is precise and impressive. Flip the coin over, and you'll see an eagle landing on a stack of branches, its wings outstretched as if in motion. Around the top it reads United States of America, and the denomination, $1, appears at the bottom. The eagle design harks back to older silver dollars, connecting the coin to the long history of American currency. Now, despite its importance and design, the Susan B. Anthony dollar had a rocky reception. Many people found it confusing to use, and it never became as popular as other coins. As a result, the mint didn't produce huge numbers for circulation compared to more common coins, which today makes finding well-preserved examples more exciting for collectors. Circulated coins are relatively common, but uncirculated or proof coins in perfect condition are much rarer and highly sought after. Collectors also look for certain subtle differences and variations. Some 1979 coins carry minor die errors, slight differences in the edge or lettering, or small anomalies in the eagle's design. These imperfections might seem minor, but for collectors, they make a coin unique and often more valuable than a standard issue. Another interesting point about the 1979 Susan B. Anthony dollar is the mint marks. Coins were produced in Philadelphia and Denver, with P and D mint marks, while some proof coins came from San Francisco with an S mint mark. Each mint has its own collectible following, and the condition of the coin, whether uncirculated or proof, adds a layer of complexity to the collecting world. Even subtle differences in strike quality or finish can make one coin more desirable than another. Now, let's talk about rarity and value. A circulated 1979 Susan B. Anthony dollar is generally worth a small premium over face value, depending on condition. Coins in uncirculated condition can bring higher prices, often several times their face value. Proof coins, especially those from the San Francisco Mint in pristine condition, are even more appealing to collectors. The combination of historical significance, limited production numbers for certain mint types, and condition makes this coin an interesting piece for anyone looking to add a US dollar coin to their collection. Many collectors also appreciate the story behind the coin. Susan B. Anthony herself was a pioneer of social change, and owning a coin that commemorates her work connects the collector to a larger narrative about equality and American history. Unlike many modern coins, which are produced mainly for spending, this coin represents an intentional effort to honor an important historical figure, making it more than just currency. It's a piece of history you can hold in your hand. And here's a fun fact: despite initial criticism, the coin has developed a following among collectors precisely because of its uniqueness and the story behind it. Its small size, once considered a disadvantage, now makes it a distinctive addition to any collection. Collectors often search for high-grade examples with sharp detail, full luster, and no signs of circulation, which are becoming increasingly scarce after more than 40 years. So how much is it worth today? Circulated coins are generally modest in value, slightly above face value depending on condition. Uncirculated examples can fetch significantly more, with prices climbing steadily as collectors seek pristine coins. Proof coins, especially those with perfect surfaces and sharp detail, hold even higher appeal. Some coins with known die errors or rare variations are particularly sought after, adding an element of excitement to the hunt for Susan B. Anthony dollars. Now for the auction numbers. At recent auctions, well-preserved 1979 Susan B. Anthony dollars, especially uncirculated or proof coins, have sold for prices ranging from $20 to $100, depending on condition and rarity. Certain coins with verified errors or exceptional quality have reached even higher amounts, making them a valuable and collectible item for enthusiasts who know what to look for. Do you own a 1979 Susan B. Anthony dollar? Have you ever checked yours for mint marks, condition, or unusual features? Which coin would you love to add to your collection if you could find it today? Let me know in the comments. I read every story and discovery you share. The 1979 Susan B. Anthony dollar may not be as famous as the silver dollars of the past, but it's a coin with history, collectible appeal, and a story that continues to resonate with collectors today. Its design, mint marks, condition, and potential errors all combine to make it a fascinating piece to study, hold, and treasure. Top 2. Today we are diving into a coin that might seem small, but it has captured the attention of collectors around the world for its beauty, history, and value. This is the United States of America gold $1 from the year 2000, minted in Denver, commonly referred to as the 2000 D gold dollar. Stick with me, because by the end of this video, you'll see why this coin is more than just currency, why collectors are eager to add it to their collections, and what it has actually sold for at auction. The gold $1 coins have a long and interesting history in the United States. Originally introduced in the 19th century, these coins were designed to provide a convenient gold denomination for everyday commerce. By the year 2000, the U.S. Mint was producing these coins mainly for collectors, continuing the tradition but with modern minting techniques and finishes. What makes the 2000 D particularly interesting is that it is part of a series that combines historical design with modern precision. Striking in 22-karat gold. On the front of the coin, you'll see the iconic Liberty design, inspired by the original 1908 to 1929 gold dollar motifs. Liberty's profile is elegant and regal, her hair flowing gracefully, and the word Liberty arches along the top. The date, 2000, is clearly marked at the bottom, while tiny stars frame the edge of the coin, adding a refined touch. The craftsmanship here is meticulous, showcasing the U.S. Mint's attention to detail, and making it a pleasure to hold, examine, and display. Flip the coin over, and you're greeted with the traditional eagle design, a symbol of strength and freedom. The eagle is in flight, wings fully spread, with United States of America and $1 inscribed along the perimeter. The level of detail on the feathers and claws is impressive for such a small coin, and in person, the reflective gold surface really makes the design pop. For collectors, this combination of historical design, gold content, and exceptional craftsmanship makes the coin highly desirable. Now, although the 2000 D gold dollar was primarily intended for collectors, it still has several factors that influence its value. Condition is one of the most important aspects. Coins that have been handled, scratched, or exposed to air and moisture will have toned surfaces, which can reduce their market value. On the other hand, coins that are uncirculated, with full luster and no marks, are highly sought after. Proof coins, especially those struck for collectors in special sets, carry even more appeal due to their perfect finishes and sharp details. Another interesting factor is the Denver Mint mark. While some collectors focus on the design or the gold content, others look for subtle differences in strike quality, edge finishing, and even minute variations in the minting process. Some rare 2000 D gold dollars exhibit tiny die variations or small imperfections that occurred during production, and these anomalies are highly prized by numismatists because they make the coin unique. Gold content is also a key driver of value. The 2000 D gold dollar is struck in .9167 fine gold, which is approximately 22 karat. Even though the coin's face value is only $1, the intrinsic value of the gold itself is far higher. That means, even if you're not a collector, this coin has inherent value as an investment piece in precious metals. For collectors, the combination of gold content and historical design adds layers of desirability, turning a small dollar coin into something much more significant. Now, let's talk about rarity. While the U.S. Mint produced a substantial number of gold $1 for the year 2000, uncirculated examples, especially those preserved in pristine condition, are still not easy to find. Coins that have been stored properly in protective holders, capsules, or sets retain their original luster and detail, making them stand out from the average coin. Proof coins and high-grade examples tend to be the ones collectors pursue most aggressively, particularly because they represent the best combination of artistry, condition, and historical significance. Collectors also love the story behind the coin. Gold coins, more than any other denomination, carry an aura of prestige and history. The 2000 D gold dollar isn't just a piece of metal, it's a continuation of a long tradition of U.S. gold coinage. It's a coin that connects modern collectors with the country's numismatic history, from the early 19th century gold dollars to the precision-minted collector coins of today. Holding one of these coins is like holding a piece of American heritage in your hand, and here's a point that often surprises people: despite the face value of $1, these coins are never worth just a single dollar in the collector market. Their appeal comes from gold content, mint quality, condition, and rarity. While millions of ordinary coins from circulation might be common, a well-preserved 2000 D gold dollar has a story, a shine, and a tangible value that makes it worth much more than its nominal denomination. Now, let's build a little suspense. Many people assume modern gold coins are plentiful and easily replaced. That's not the case here. Coins with perfect detail, full luster, and especially those that show any rare die variation or anomaly, are actively sought at auctions. Serious collectors know to check mint marks, surface quality, and even the tiniest imperfections, because those can significantly increase a coin's market value. Finally, let's talk about auction prices. At recent auctions, well-preserved 2000 D gold dollars have sold for several $100s, depending on their condition. Uncirculated examples in perfect condition often reach prices between $300 and $500. Proof coins, or coins with rare minting anomalies, have been known to fetch even higher amounts. This is a perfect example of a coin where the face value is irrelevant. The historical significance, gold content, and collector appeal determine its true worth. Do you have a 2000 D gold dollar tucked away in your collection? Have you ever checked it for luster, mint mark, or unique features? Which coins would you love to find in pristine condition if you went searching through old collections? Share your discoveries in the comments. I read every one and love hearing about rare finds. The 2000 D gold $1 is more than a coin, it's a piece of American history, a collector's treasure, and a tangible investment in gold. Its small size belies its significance, combining artistry, historical tradition, and intrinsic value in a way few coins do. Paying attention to condition, mint marks, and any unique features is the key to recognizing which coins are truly special. Top 3. Today we are diving into a coin that might seem small at first glance, but it holds a fascinating story, incredible craftsmanship, and a value that far exceeds its face. This is the United States of America gold $1 from the year 2000, minted in Philadelphia, known as the 2000 P gold dollar. Stick with me, because by the end of this video, you'll understand why collectors and investors alike are eager to add this coin to their collections, and how much it has actually sold for at auction. The gold $1 has a history that stretches back to the 19th century, making it one of America's most storied coin types. Originally introduced to provide a convenient gold denomination for everyday use, these coins became a symbol of both monetary stability and craftsmanship. Fast forward to the year 2000, and the U.S. Mint was continuing the tradition, producing collector-focused coins that combined historical design with modern minting precision. The 2000 P gold dollar, struck in 22-karat gold, is part of that collector series and is notable for both its artistry and its intrinsic value. On the obverse, the coin features a rendition of Liberty inspired by the original early 20th century gold dollar design. Liberty's profile is elegant and poised, her hair flowing in fine detail, conveying both dignity and strength. The word Liberty arches across the top, while the date, 2000, is clearly engraved at the bottom. Tiny stars frame the edge of the coin, enhancing its visual appeal and creating a sense of refinement. Even though it's a small coin, the level of detail is exceptional, making it an object that's not only valuable but beautiful to examine. Turn the coin over, and you see the eagle in flight, wings spread wide, carrying a symbol of strength and freedom that has been central to American coinage for centuries. The inscriptions, United States of America, and $1, frame the eagle. The feathers, the claws, and the way the eagle is depicted in motion show the craftsmanship of the U.S. Mint at the turn of the millennium. The reflective gold surface gives it a luminous quality, especially in high-grade examples, making it a visually striking coin for any collection. Although the coin has a face value of just $1, its gold content and collectible nature make that figure almost irrelevant. The 2000 P gold dollar is struck in .9167 fine gold, which is approximately 22 karat. This means that the intrinsic value of the gold alone is far higher than the denomination on the coin. Combine that with historical significance, design, and condition, and you have a coin that appeals to both collectors and precious metal enthusiasts. Condition is one of the biggest factors that determines value. Coins that have been handled, exposed to the elements, or stored improperly often develop surface imperfections or lose their original luster. In contrast, coins that have remained in protective holders or special mint sets retain their full brilliance and detail. Uncirculated coins, and especially proof coins from the Philadelphia Mint, are highly prized because they showcase the full artistry of the design. Every line, every contour, and every star is perfectly defined, which is exactly what collectors look for when deciding which coins are worth keeping. Mint marks also play an important role. The P mark denotes the Philadelphia Mint, distinguishing these coins from their Denver minted counterparts. While both mints produced high-quality examples, some collectors specifically target Philadelphia coins due to subtle differences in strike and finish. Proof coins from Philadelphia often display even sharper details, a mirror-like surface, and pristine edges, making them standout pieces in any collection. Another interesting aspect of the 2000 P gold dollar is the possibility of minor minting variations. Some coins display tiny die imperfections, slight inconsistencies in lettering, or small anomalies on the edge or eagle. While these errors are minor, they create unique examples that stand out from the regular coins. Collectors prize these rare variations because they're one-of-a-kind and often fetch higher prices when offered at auction. Now, it's important to note that these coins were produced for collectors rather than for general circulation, so even though they are not rare in the sense of low mintage, finding coins that are flawless, uncirculated, and properly preserved is becoming more difficult over time. Every year that passes, coins that are not carefully stored risk developing scratches, tarnish, or wear, which makes pristine examples even more valuable. So why do collectors find this coin so appealing? Beyond the gold content and historical design, the 2000 P gold dollar is a tangible connection to American numismatic history. It links the modern collector to a tradition that began with gold dollars in the 19th century, combining artistry, precious metal value, and historical significance. Holding this coin is like holding a small piece of history, one that has survived decades while maintaining its elegance and appeal. For those interested in market value, it's essential to understand that face value does not reflect what collectors are willing to pay. Circulated coins are generally worth more than their denomination due to gold content, but the real value comes from condition and collectability. Uncirculated coins, proof examples, and those with minor minting variations are especially sought after, and they command higher prices. Collectors often look for coins with full luster, sharp details, and no surface imperfections, which is what makes the 2000 P gold dollar such a compelling item. And finally, let's talk about auction prices. Well-preserved 2000 P gold dollars have sold for several $100s, depending on condition and whether they are uncirculated or proof examples. Most coins in pristine condition fetch between $300 and $500, while rare proof coins or coins with notable minting anomalies have gone for even higher amounts. For anyone with one of these coins, it's a reminder that careful storage and preservation can turn a small gold coin into a highly desirable collector's item. Do you own a 2000 P gold dollar? Have you checked yours for luster, mint mark, or subtle variations that could make it stand out? Which coins would you love to add to your collection if you could find them today? Share your thoughts in the comments. I love reading about the treasures people discover in their collections. The 2000 gold $1 is more than a coin. It's history, it's art, and it's a tangible investment in gold. Its small size hides its value, but those who appreciate the craftsmanship, condition, and historical significance know just how special it is. Coins like these remind collectors that every detail counts, from mint mark to surface finish, and that the stories behind the coin are just as important as their gold content. Top 4. Today we are traveling back in time to explore one of the most fascinating and historically significant coins ever produced in the United States, the gold $1 coin from 1849 and 1850. These coins may be small in size, but they are massive in historical importance, rarity, and collector appeal. Stick with me, because by the end of this video, you'll understand why collectors around the world still hunt for these coins, what makes them unique, and how much they have sold for at auction. The gold $1 coin has a story that is inseparable from the history of the United States. In 1849, the California gold rush was in full swing, and the U.S. Mint needed a way to introduce small-denomination gold coins for commerce. That's when the first gold $1 coins were struck. These coins were tiny, just under 13 millimeters in diameter, but they represented a new era, gold coins in everyday circulation, designed to facilitate trade during a period when gold was flooding into the economy. The 1849 and 1850 issues are particularly notable because they were part of the very first years of production. The coins were struck at the Philadelphia Mint, and each one was carefully engraved with the Liberty head design. On the obverse, you can see Liberty wearing a coronet inscribed with the word Liberty. Her hair is tied back, and the level of detail on her face and hair is remarkable for such a small coin. Surrounding her are 13 stars representing the original colonies, and the date sits at the bottom of the coin. Even at first glance, you can see the artistry that went into these tiny pieces of history. Turn the coin over, and you'll see a simple wreath encircling the denomination, $1. There is elegance in its simplicity, a balance between the detailed portrait on the obverse and the understated reverse. These coins were small, lightweight, and meant to be used in daily transactions, yet the craftsmanship and precision make them objects of beauty even today. What makes these coins so collectible isn't just the design, though. The 1849 and 1850 gold $1 are incredibly rare. Mintage numbers were tiny compared to modern coins, and many of the original coins were lost, melted down, or damaged over the years. Surviving examples in any condition are highly prized. When you hold one of these coins, you're holding a piece of the first American gold coinage, a connection to a pivotal moment in U.S. history when gold reshaped the economy, society, and everyday life. Collectors also look for condition and die variations. Because these coins were struck in the very first years of production, the dies were hand-prepared, and slight inconsistencies exist between coins. Some 1849 or 1850 coins show small differences in Liberty's hair, the placement of stars, or the depth of the lettering. These variations make each coin unique and add a layer of excitement for collectors who specialize in early U.S. gold coins. The size and gold content are also important. These coins weigh just over 1.6 grams and are composed of 0.900 fine gold. While small, their intrinsic gold value is significant, especially when combined with historical and collector appeal. For modern collectors, this means the coin is both a tangible investment in precious metals and a piece of history that tells a story about early American life, trade, and artistry. Now imagine the story behind the coin. In 1849, California was experiencing massive growth and upheaval due to the gold rush. These tiny coins were part of everyday life, exchanged in markets, shops, and businesses. Over 170 years later, they are no longer just currency, they are rare artifacts. The journey from circulation coin to collectible treasure is what makes the 1849 and 1850 gold $1 so special. Every scratch, mark, or flaw tells a story about the coin's life over nearly 2 centuries. Collectors today pay attention to more than just age. The quality of the strike, the preservation of the design, and the luster of the gold all influence value. Coins that have been carefully stored in protective cases retain their original brilliance and are much more desirable. Coins that have survived in high grades are extremely scarce, which drives the market value higher. Some rare specimens have detailed provenance, meaning their ownership history is documented, adding another layer of appeal, even among collectors. The 1849 and 1850 gold $1 inspire excitement because of their historical significance. They were among the first U.S. gold coins to enter circulation, they reflect the artistry of the period, and they provide a tangible link to the California gold rush era. Owning one is like owning a piece of history, a piece of a time when America was changing rapidly and gold coins played a crucial role in daily life. Despite being over 170 years old, these coins continue to be sought after at auctions. They are not just valuable for the gold content, they are rare, historically important, and highly collectible. The fact that they are small makes them portable pieces of history, easy to admire, display, and study, which only adds to their charm. And now, for the moment collectors wait for, auction prices. Well-preserved 1849 and 1850 gold $1 coins, depending on condition, rarity, and provenance, have sold at auction for tens of thousands of dollars. Exceptional examples, particularly those in nearly flawless condition, have reached prices exceeding $100,000, making them some of the most coveted small-denomination gold coins in U.S. history. Do you own an early U.S. gold dollar? Have you ever examined one for subtle differences or signs of high quality? Which coins would you love to find if you could step back in time to the first years of American gold coinage? Let me know in the comments. I love hearing about collector discoveries and rare finds. The 1849 and 1850 gold $1 are more than coins, they're pieces of American history, tangible reminders of the California gold rush, and the early days of U.S. coinage. They combine artistry, historical significance, and intrinsic value in a way that few coins do. Every detail, from Liberty's coronet to the wreath on the reverse, tells a story about the beginnings of modern U.S. currency. Top 5. Today we are stepping way back in American history to explore a coin that is both small in size and massive in significance. This is the United States of America gold $1, struck between 1825 and 1829, a coin that represents the early days of the U.S. Mint, the nation's first gold coinage, and the beginnings of America's journey into a modern economy. Stick with me, because by the end of this video, you'll see why collectors consider these coins priceless, what makes them unique, and the auction prices that have turned them into highly sought-after treasures. The gold $1 coins of 1825 through 1829 were produced during the early years of the Philadelphia Mint. At that time, the United States was still a young nation, and the mint was experimenting with small gold denominations to facilitate commerce and establish trust in the new currency system. These coins were tiny, measuring just over 12 millimeters in diameter and weighing barely over 1.67 grams, but they carried a value far beyond their size because they were part of the first attempts to strike gold coins for everyday use in the United States. On the obverse of these coins, you'll see a striking Liberty head design. Liberty wears a coronet inscribed with Liberty, her hair pulled back with exquisite detail for such a small coin. Surrounding her are stars representing the states of the Union at the time, with the dates stamped below. Even though these coins are over 190 years old, the artistry remains remarkable. Every strand of hair, every curve of Liberty's coronet, shows the level of craftsmanship that early mint engravers applied to these tiny pieces of currency. Flip the coin over, and you are greeted with a simple but elegant wreath encircling the denomination, $1. The design is minimalistic, yet it exudes elegance and balance, creating a harmony between the detailed obverse and understated reverse. These small coins were designed to circulate, yet their artistry makes them a joy to examine and collect today. Even their tiny size adds to their charm, requiring close inspection to appreciate the engraver's skill. What makes these coins particularly exciting for collectors is their rarity. Mintages were incredibly low, especially compared to modern coins, and many of these coins were either lost, melted down, or damaged over the nearly 2 centuries since they were minted. Surviving examples in any condition are extremely valuable, but coins preserved in high-grade, uncirculated condition are exceedingly rare. Owning one of these coins is like holding a piece of early American history, a tangible connection to a time when gold was new to the young nation and every coin mattered. Collectors also look for subtle differences and variations in these early coins. Because the dies were hand-prepared and striking techniques were less standardized, slight inconsistencies occur from coin to coin. Some show differences in Liberty's hair, star placement, or wreath details, creating unique examples that make each coin stand out. These nuances are particularly exciting for numismatists who specialize in early U.S. gold coins, because they combine historical importance with uniqueness. The gold $1 coins from 1825 to 1829 are also fascinating for their historical context. These coins were minted during a time when the United States was still defining its economy, political identity, and national symbols. They circulated during the presidency of John Quincy Adams and Andrew Jackson, a period marked by expansion, political tension, and rapid change. Each coin tells a story, not just about money, but about a country finding its footing and using gold coins as a symbol of stability and trust. Condition is everything with these coins. Many of the surviving examples show wear from decades of circulation. Coins that have been carefully preserved, free from scratches, dings, and other damage, command the highest interest from collectors. Coins in uncirculated or nearly flawless condition are rare, and their small size makes their preservation all the more impressive. Proof-like examples, with sharp details and reflective surfaces, are considered the pinnacle for collectors of early gold dollars. Gold content also adds to their value. These coins were struck in .900 fine gold, making them not just historically important, but also intrinsically valuable. While modern investors might focus on bullion value, for collectors, the combination of gold, historical significance, and rarity creates a coin that is more than just metal. It's a story in your hand. These coins have fascinated collectors for generations because they offer a tangible link to the earliest days of U.S. coinage. They show the evolution of design, the challenges of early minting, and the artistry of a young nation trying to establish a stable monetary system. The gold $1 coins of 1825 to 1829 are more than currency, they are miniature works of art, pieces of history, and tangible connections to the past. Even today, collectors hunt for these coins, scrutinizing each one for details that reveal its quality, history, and uniqueness. The combination of age, craftsmanship, gold content, and rarity makes them highly desirable in the numismatic world. Coins with exceptional surfaces, clear details, and any unique die variation are the ones that truly stand out, and they often become the centerpiece of a collector's set. And now for the part everyone wants to know: auction prices. Well-preserved gold $1 coins from 1825 to 1829 have sold at auction for amounts ranging from tens of thousands to over $100,000, depending on condition, rarity, and provenance. Coins in exceptional condition, particularly those with sharp details and full luster, have commanded some of the highest prices, reflecting just how coveted these small but historically important coins are. Do you own an early U.S. gold dollar? Have you ever examined one for die variations, star placement, or surface quality? Which coins would you love to find if you could explore early American mint records? Drop your answers in the comments. I love hearing about collector discoveries and rare finds. The gold $1 coins of 1825 to 1829 are more than just money. They are history in miniature, artistry in metal, and tangible reminders of the nation's earliest days. They combine rarity, historical significance, and gold content in a way that few coins do. From Liberty's coronet to the delicate wreath on the reverse, every detail tells a story of early America. That if you enjoyed this deep dive into the gold $1 coins of 1825 to 1829, hit like so other collectors can discover them. Subscribe and turn on notifications for more videos on rare coins, historical treasures, and hidden gems you might not even realize are sitting in collections today. These tiny coins carry enormous stories, and the coin you overlook today could be worth a fortune tomorrow.